Welcome to the OSHA Construction Ladder Safety Webinar. I'm Lucas Alger, a safety consultant for the Kentucky Department of Labor and Education, and I'm thrilled to be your guide through this essential webinar on the OSHA ladder safety for the construction industry. Ladders are common tools in the construction industry, but they can also pose significant risks when not used properly. Ladder accidents can have severe consequences in construction, leading to injuries, lost workdays, and even fatalities. Please pause and take a moment to read the following disclaimer. Today, we're here to discuss a critical aspect of workplace safety, ladder and safety compliance with OSHA regulations. Ladder-related accidents can result in severe injuries or fatalities, but with the right knowledge and precautions, we can prevent them. Over the next 15 minutes or so, we'll explore why ladder safety matters, the OSHA standards you need to know, and practical tips for safe ladder use. We will begin by discussing data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We will then move on to ladder types, ladder selection, and safe ladder use. The following chart shows fatalities from ladder accidents per year from 2016 to 2020. Both of these cases occurred in Kentucky, leading to fatal injuries. Case number 1, a 43-year-old male laborer was killed after a ladder fall at a residential home building site. The laborer was handing tools to a residential framer while standing on the fourth rung of the ladder. The laborer fell from the ladder onto the ground and hit his head. The laborer was transported to a nearby hospital where he died 4 days later from the head injury. Case number 2, a 38-year-old male day laborer hired by a residential roofing company died when he fell 10 feet from the ladder. The laborer was done for the day and descending from the ladder while carrying a bundle of shingles. The laborer fell from the ladder and struck his head. He was transported to a nearby hospital where he died 3 days later. Both workers that were discussed were carrying objects while they were ascending or descending a ladder. These similarities in the cases highlight the importance of maintaining 3 points of contact. This chart shows non-fatal ladder incidents based on industry type, with installation, maintenance, and repair leading the way, followed closely by construction. Let's start with the different types of ladders commonly used in the workplace. Step ladders are self-supporting ladders with hinge designs. Extension ladders are straight ladders that can be extended to reach greater heights. Fixed ladders are ladders that are permanently attached to a structure. Platform ladders are ladders that have large platforms at the top for stability. And wood job made ladders you can find more information on at ANSI A14.4 through 1979. Step ladders are described as self-supporting ladders with foldable hinged legs. Common use for step ladders includes work that can be done on a stable platform while still maintaining 3 points of contact, such as painting. It is important to note that the top platform is not designed to be stepped or climbed on, but rather to be used to hold materials such as nails or hand tools. Ladder components shall be surfaced so as to prevent injury to an employee from punctures or lacerations and to prevent snagging of clothing. Wood ladders shall not be coated with any opaque covering except for identification or warning labels, which may be placed on one face only of the side rail. Extension ladders are used to reach high work areas. It is important to always follow the standard of extending 3 feet above the landing or upper access level. Extension ladders also can encounter energized electrical equipment. It is required under 1910-1053 B12 that side rails are always non-conductive and at least 10 feet away from live electrical material. A fixed ladder is considered permanently attached to a structure. They are used not for working on, but for accessing elevated areas like rooftops. Like any ladder, Fixed ladders need to be inspected periodically for defects, as well as maintain 3 points of contact when ascending and descending. Under 1926 1053 A19, ladders shall be equipped with the following safety devices. When a climb is 24 feet or more, self-retracting lifelines, and rest platforms. Job-made wooden ladders are typically built by employees at the job site. Specific measures need to be followed when constructing such ladders. Job-made ladder building requirements should be in line with ANSI 814.4 through 1979. Along with dimensions, employees must be trained to recognize damages or defects to the ladder, along with learning proper climbing techniques to limit exposure to hazards. Job-made ladders must be secured at the base to prevent movement. The job-made ladder also should be capable of withstanding 4 times the maximum intended load. These types of ladders are only acceptable in the construction industry. Here are 2 guidance sheets on job-made ladders. Please see the companion PDF for clickable links. Selecting the right ladder for the job is crucial. Ensure the ladder can support your weight and any equipment. Choose between wood, aluminum, or fiberglass based on your needs. Select an appropriate length to reach the desired height safely. Metal ladders should not be used near live electrical lines. Each self-supporting portable ladder shall sustain at least 3.3 times the maximum intended load. The ability of a ladder to sustain the loads indicated in this paragraph shall be determined by applying or transmitting the requisite load to the ladder in a downward vertical direction. Ladders built and tested in conformance with the applicable provisions of Appendix A of this subpart will be deemed to meet this requirement. The following chart shows how to appropriately choose the correct ladder. Pause if you need to snap a picture. Before using any ladder, conduct a thorough inspection. Check for visible defects, such as bent or missing rungs. Ensure rungs and steps are secure. Inspect for damages or missing parts. Emphasize the importance of keeping a checklist on a regular basis. For the next several slides, we are going to look at ladders that should be tagged out of service or discarded. With the first photo, you can see that the feet are missing and the ladder cannot be secured. The next photo, we have a rung that's damaged and should be tagged out of service or discarded. Here we have another damaged rung. As you can see, there are cracks on the outside on the handrails. And then here we have more damage. This is clearly visible. If you follow the inspection guidelines, you should be able to pick up on this fairly quickly and deem this out of service or discard the ladder. And here, obviously, this ladder's been used way too long. This damage should never be this extensive on these kind of ladders. The first sign of wear and tear, the ladder should be removed. And with ladder damage comes ladder repairs. Under 1926 1053 B18, the repair shall restore the ladder to a condition meeting its original design criteria. However, some ladders cannot be repaired and should be discarded. Here's an example of an improper repair to a ladder. As you can see, it's not going to return to the same structural integrity as it once had. And again, another example of improper ladder repair. It needs to look similar or identical to how it came originally to the manufacturer. Labels and warnings. OSHA ladder standards do not require manufacturers to label ladders with instructions and warnings. Manufacturers of ladders attach the labels to provide information for safe use and to protect themselves in liability action from any misuse of the ladder. What type of information can be found on ladder labels? We have warnings, capacity, and setup, and any other options the manufacturer might want you to know. What do you do if you can't read the label on the ladder? Labels can typically be purchased from the manufacturer. Do not attempt to create your own labels based on weight capacity that you may have tested. Under 1926-1060A, employees who are using ladders shall be trained to recognize hazards and follow safety procedures. The employer shall ensure that each employee has been trained by a competent person in the following areas as applicable: the nature of fall hazards in the work area, the correct procedures for erecting, maintaining, and assembling the fall protection systems to be used, the proper construction, use, placement, and care and handling of all stairways and ladders. Additional training requirements include maximum intended load capacities. Also, employees need to be retrained as necessary to maintain knowledge and understanding with compliance. We're going to discuss safe ladder use next. Proper ladder setup and placement are essential. Maintain the 4-to-1 ratio rule, which means every 4 feet of workspace means the base of the ladder needs to come outward 1 foot. Ensure that the ladder is stable and at the correct angle. Never overreach or lean too far to one side. Safe ladder climbing and descending. When climbing and descending, safety should be your top priority. Always maintain 3 points of contacts with the ladder. Face the ladder and keep your body centered. Use tool belts or hoists to carry materials, and also be cautious when carrying heavy loads. Step ladders are designed for use in an open and locked position. Do not use a step ladder that is folded or in a leaning position. The top step of a step ladder should not be used as a step. Also, climbing ladder cross bracing is prohibited. Like any other ladder, step ladders must be periodically inspected by a competent person. When using an extension ladder for access to the level, the ladder must extend at least 3 feet above the landing to provide a handhold for getting on and off the ladder. Extension ladders should be secured at the top or bottom to prevent movement. The base of the extension ladder must be secured in place by using the safety feet on the ladder or other effective means. Slippery surfaces. Never use a ladder on a slippery surface unless it is secured to prevent movement. Wet or slippery surfaces may require a cleat, and we'll discuss this further in the next few slides. On loose soil or a soft base, dig feet into the ground. On a firm base, set feet level and on the rubber pads. Only use manufacturer's approved stabilizers. Never modify a ladder to stabilize it yourself. Here's an example of what you may find if you need to purchase your own leveling device. Next, we'll discuss unsafe ladder use. When the ladder is not used for its intended purposes, this creates an unsafe condition. Also, when loaded beyond its intended load limit. More unsafe conditions include not keeping the ladder clean from oil, grease, and slipping hazards, or if the ladder is placed on and used on slippery surfaces. Also, when ladders are not used on stable level surfaces or otherwise secured to prevent displacement, this creates an unsafe ladder use as well. More unsafe conditions are included in the following. When using the top step of the step ladder, when cross bracing of the rear step ladder is used as a step, also when tied or fastened together to provide extra length unless ladder is designed to do so. Ladder storage. Proper ladder storage is vital to prevent accidents and damage. Keep storage areas organized and free from clutter and tripping hazards. Provide best practices for ladder storage. In conclusion, whether it's choosing the correct ladder, navigating a ladder, or inspecting a ladder, all are equally as important. It is crucial for anyone who uses a ladder to follow each measure of safety to prevent injuries and fatalities. For more free safety and health online learning opportunities, please visit our website. Thank you for joining us today.